All right, it looks like OBS is telling me we're live. Yes, it does look like we are live. Good to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream with Counterfactual Gaming. All right, it looks like today we are going to talk about the super heavy tank and all the changes to tanks in the can't remember what it is, the summer beta. Now, if you're not sure what's going on with the summer beta, I couldn't possibly summarize it in any sort of comprehensive way without it taking a super long time. But for what we're doing right now, I want to talk about tanks. We're going to be talking about how tanks work and why tanks are the way they are in the new beta. Now, the new beta has a couple of things that I can go into. First things first, super heavy tanks are now going to be a support company. Now, there still seem to be super heavy tank destroyers, super heavy self-propelled guns, but super heavy tanks themselves are no longer a line battalion, they're a support company. There are also listed changes to the amount of armor certain chassis have, and it seems clear to me the devs kind of want to shake up the meta. Now, I don't know if they're going to be successful shaking up the meta. We'll see about that. But they do seem to want to shake that meta up. And we're going to see, we're going to experiment today. We're going to fiddle around, we're going to use console commands, we're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff just to see what division stats look like in the new summer beta with various kinds of tanks. Now, tanks in multiplayer, we probably should add some context to this while we're talking about this. In context, a lot of multiplayer groups have a meta where I had to put the cat out. He's trying to go do something constructive. A lot of multiplayer groups have a meta where they have, right now, it boils down to using cheap, unarmored tanks, medium chassis, as armored divisions because a lot of players in multiplayer don't feel that in vanilla the game makes it worthwhile to either use heavies or add armor to mediums. The reasons for that are kind of complicated. I don't know. It would take a long time to explain why all of it, but it boils down to it's easy enough to pierce even like the heaviest of armor and the heaviest of tanks, or at least pierce them enough under the new piercing paradigm that was introduced a couple of months ago where we have partial piercing, so that it doesn't make sense to have really expensive tanks that are not even unpierceable, but you'd rather just have as many medium tanks of the appropriate speed as possible. You want the breakthrough, you want to mount medium howitzers on those tanks, but you don't want to worry about, oh, I can up the armor and make them like unpierceable, because that's just not a thing that can happen. Part of that's because of how chassis work, part of that's because of resources and production costs and all those other things. The devs for Hearts of Iron seem to want to change that meta a bit by, one, making support companies out of super heavy tanks and making it so that better chassis have better armor. So what I want to do today is look at, on a comparison basis, look at costs, look at armor and piercing stats, using cheat commands to just give countries equipment, and see what we can accomplish. Now, if you're not familiar with testing, I've done a lot of testing in Hearts of Iron 4. I usually test aircraft, but I do test ships and tanks sometime. My favorite memory of testing ships was when Man the Guns first came out, and on the day it came out, I found a way to create battleships with negative speed because they had so many heavy batteries and so much armor on them. Paradox patched that pretty quickly, but I was proud of myself that I was able to design a battleship that like had a negative speed stat, and nobody had noticed that in QA or beta testing. So, how do we do things? Well, if you're not familiar with the console, let me show you some basic console commands. Like PP will get you a bunch of political power. XP will just give you all the XP that you need. Then there's an important one called Research on Icon Click. Research on Icon Click makes it so that you don't have to wait for research to finish. You just click on a tech, boom, it's research. You don't even have to meet the minimum requirements for the tech. So I can research the MP43, and I could just skip all those techs. Although doing this can really screw up your tests, so I don't ever recommend doing that. But the Research on Icon Click lets us sort of get around, having to run tests where I have to run the game for 4 hours in order to figure something out. And you bring up the console just by using tilde on your keyboard. It's no big deal. Now, because I showed you something not to do here where I researched the MP43 without the intervening text, and because I'm trying to test tanks right now, when you're doing an actual test where you're trying to test unit stats, you want to make sure you very carefully select which texts are in place, because especially these intermediate texts can really make a difference on certain things. But right now we're just looking at tanks. And I picked Germany to start with because I think Germany, due to how their focus tree sets up, should be able to get the super heavy tank really early. If you're not familiar with Germany's focus tree, there's the Army Innovations. Then there's the treaty with the USSR, which grants, as you can see down there, 2 100% research bonuses for armor tech. And then we have also Army Innovations 2, although I don't think that would be useful in this scenario. The reason I bring that up is you have 2 100% research bonuses for armor technology. Germany, of course, already has the 34 heavy tank, which means you can use 1 research bonus on the 1940 heavy, and you can do a second research bonus on the super heavy chassis. I'm going to go ahead and research them instantly. Now I'm going to turn off the Research on Icon Click because it will keep trying to research a tech every time you click on it, and I instead just want to open it to take a look at something. We need to remember that the super heavy tank tech doesn't just unlock the chassis for the Moss, but it also unlocks the super heavy cannon. This is the most expensive and most powerful cannon you can mount on a tank in the game. It also uses a ton of resources, as you can see. But that's the big gun. Now, I have never, ever, in Hearts of Iron 4, Hearts of Iron 3, been a fan of the super heavy tanks. Much like in real life, they are kind of a boondoggle in both games, but I have, in Hearts of Iron 4 sometimes, researched the super heavy tank, not to make this, but to get access to this cannon so that I could mount it on a heavy tank chassis, which you can do. See, I've got the improved heavy tank right here. I can take that super heavy gun, and then I can mount it in a heavy fixed superstructure, and then and then swap it in a tank destroyer, and that's a legal tank right there. That's a tank destroyer. It provides a ton of piercing and a ton of firepower. And unlike high velocity guns, the super heavy gun, much like the heavy guns, has both solid soft attack and solid hard attack. When we're talking about guns, we need to sort of keep in mind, here, let me go back to that the high velocity guns that we can get from the AT gun line we have all the gun text now. That the high velocity guns that you can put on a tank, like improve the tier 3 gun here, that's the best one, you'll notice that it has less soft attack than, say, some of these improved heavy cannons. It kind of gets close to them, but the super heavy gun still has more soft attack. So I tend, there's some trade-offs here, but that super heavy gun kind of has everything. It's like the heavy guns, where it's got decent soft attack, it's got good piercing, but it does it all. Now, the question is, how would we design a Moss? Now, what I'm going to do here, because let's just be honest with ourselves, this is a test. I haven't played with the beta yet. Because this is a test and I haven't played the beta yet, I don't even know what's going to be going on. I have no clue what's going to be going on. We're going to have a lot of bad ideas. We're going to have a lot of bad ideas here. And I need to put a bad ideas counter up on the screen. Hold on. We're going to see if I can actually do bad idea counter. Now, is it going to show up? Font Arial. Bad idea. I cannot type today. Bad idea counter. Okay, that is huge. That is gigantic. Here, we're gonna make that small. We're gonna move it over here. That's a little too wide. Okay, there we go. Bad idea counter. Drop it just a little bit. Let's see, is that actually... I want to make sure it's not on the ribbon. Go down just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. There's my bad idea counter. And I think the bad idea counter should probably also have a black background. Oh, will it let me do a background? Well, I hate Arial as a font. Can we do Times? Yeah, there we go. My favorite font. Times New Roman. All right. Opacity, background color. Okay, why is my background color not backgrounding? Oh, because we haven't done that. There we go. Bad idea counter. Currently we are at 0. But that will change. Okay, so as we go through this, I'm going to increment that counter every time we come up with a terrible idea that doesn't work well. Excuse me, work well in the game. Okay. That was a tasty beverage. Hey, Tobias, what's up? Add 1 to the bat. Oh, come on. Comic Sans? No. Comic Sans is terrible. Comic Sans is the worst thing to ever happen since, like, the Moss was designed. We all know how much I hate the Moss. Seriously, it was a terrible, terrible tank. But you know what? 31 flavors is a... I understand your feelings about 31 flavors. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I mean, once this stream is over, I might go to Baskin Robbins. We're up to 3 bad ideas already. Plan Z. I'm not... No, these are my bad ideas, not Germany's bad ideas. I mean, Germany's bad ideas, like, yeah, Plan Z was not a well thought out idea, but Okay. So let's take a look at. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with base model. Okay, a base model Moss won't actually. Hold up. Base model Moss doesn't even meet the 4 kph minimum. So, all right. This is Moss. This is stupid basic Moss. This is the stupid basic Moss. I also hate that icon. There we go. Okay. Now this is just the base. Yeah, they were insurmountable. So many bad ideas. So many bad ideas. But you know who had even more bad ideas than Germany? French High Command. Yeah, it's a bad ideas too. Oh dear. Okay, this is just base Moss. We're not doing anything fancy to it yet. This is a 67 cost one. It's got the worst armor, worst suspension, all that jazz. I want to see what this looks like as a super heavy tank support company. Okay, so we're going to call this Space Marine A. We're going to update that template, and we're going to slap a super heavy on it. Oh, yeah, the Italians. Yeah, the Italians. Huh. The Italians. Ugh. I actually have some Polish friends who are still bitter, though, about the French and their on the Tsar offensive. I'm like, the war is decades gone by, and my friends are still like, I can't believe the French and the British didn't do anything with the Tsar offensive. I'm like, yeah, I feel your pain, guys, but yeah, I can't help you there. Yeah. My personal favorite bad thing with Italy was after the Battle of France and they signed the armistice. Italy demobilized a bunch of troops, only to remobilize them to attack Greece later. And I was like, "What? Why'd you do that? You demobilized only to turn around and remobilize? What is wrong with you?" And I know it's because they needed to do some harvests, but I was like, "Come on." In fairness to Japan, at least some of Japan's leadership knew they were having bad ideas, but they did them anyway. They tried to execute them the best way they could. Now, okay, so this is what a base model Moss as a support company in an infantry division looks like. That's 106 piercing. That's 40 armor. Well, that's not very good. Lots of extra soft attack, though. Extra hard attack. Now, just for reference, okay, that's 106 piercing there. It's super complicated. Now, let's compare that to support anti-tank is going to be 75. You know what, though? I'm going to design one of these real fast. I'm going to put the advanced heavy cannon on it. And I'm going to call this a tank destroyer. And I'm going to see what that looks like in an infantry division. Okay, the heavy tank destroyer with a tier 3 gun. You know what? I should duplicate this. This is tank destroyer. Come on. Space Marine tank destroyer. People get confused and start thinking it will work. That sounds like the last time I played multiplayer. I've had some pretty bad ideas in multiplayer. But when they sound good, people get on board with them. They're like, yeah, we can do this. We can turn it around. All right, so you, Mr. Tank Destroyer with a Tier 3 gun and all of the Tank Destroyer techs, has almost comparable piercing to the support company Moss. Although support company Moss will raise the cost to 2,100. Tank Destroyer Heavy will raise the cost to 1,500. Okay, so far, Tank Destroyer Moss, it's got superior soft attack. It's got comparable defense. It's got higher breakthrough. It's got better armor. And the width is different because a support company doesn't add any width, but it does eat a support company slot. That's going to be a problem for some people because folks love their support companies. Now, hold on. I know there are folks in multiplayer that in the old days, they wouldn't want too many support companies because it would dilute piercing and armor. But these days, most folks really like to have a full set of support companies. And I can't blame them. Log, engineers, support artillery. We all know support artillery is the most soft attack per IC cost in the entire game. Support AA is a must if the enemy has planes flying around because it's so cost effective at killing planes. Again, remember Counterfactual's rule about plane design. There is no module on an aircraft right now that improves your defense against AA gunfire. You could be better at stopping other planes from shooting you down, but the world's worst AA guns will still kill things flying in for ground attack or naval strike. Okay, so Space Marine with Moss is more expensive. Now, this is with no stats, though. This is with garbage stats. Let's see if we can make a better tank. So we're going to swap immediately to cast armor. I'm going to swap to torsion bar. We're going to go to diesel engine. And, oh, you know what I didn't do? Counterfactual's an idiot. You know what he didn't bother to grab? Yeah, I didn't grab any of these techs. Alright. Okay, now we can put armor on our tanks. Let's try again, shall we? Okay. We're going to go torsion bar, cast armor, diesel. We're going to raise that engine up. And then we're going to add... Okay, 12 steps of armor seems to be the best that I can do. I'm not going to put any other modules on it yet. I just want to look at, like, armor. Oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting sloped armor is a thing. So we're going to slap some sloped armor on this. But I'm not going to add, like, other things. Okay, so this is a reliability 59.8% tank with 4 kph, so it's suitable as a Space Marine tank. Costs 102, has an armor of 249. Alright, now for comparison purposes, cast armor, torsion bar, diesel, sloped armor. Here, we're gonna go to 20, but I might not need all of that. Okay. Maybe one more? Nope, that's too little. Okay. The Elephant, which will have 20 steps of armor, giving it an armor of 186, piercing 221, hardness of 95%, slightly better reliability. Okay, now let's see what this looks like on our templates. Now, for both people who are watching now and people watching this in the future, do keep in mind that where we're talking about stats here, at some point I'm going to have to put actual tanks and actual divisions on the map and check stats again, because the division designer, it can sometimes be misleading in what it shows you for stats. It's not actually misleading if you understand what the game engine's trying to tell you, but it can sometimes, you can be like, look, the stats in the designer say one thing, and then you put a actual equipment in the field and it doesn't look the same. All right, super heavy tank. Support company still has the same piercing, now has an armor value of 112. Which means with the maximum armor I can put on a Moss, Moss can no longer pierce itself when used as a support company on an infantry division. I do want to point something out. I just didn't realize that. Oh, look at this, folks. Look at that. Adding super heavy tanks as a support company doesn't change the hardness of a division any. Okay, we're going to factor that into our thinking as we think about it. Okay, and we're looking at $28.50 for cost. If we go look at the Space Marine with the tank division, the tank destroyers, we have an armor rating of 83, a piercing of 104, and a cost of $23.72, which is pretty. That's bordering on Moss territory right there. But interestingly, no, that's the other. Damn it! Wish I could just display more than one. Okay, so that you pay significantly more for those Moss, but you do get the armor rating that's significantly better. Now, with partial piercing, I don't know how much of a difference that's actually going to make. That's something to look at in an actual battle. Breakthrough on these two divisions, though, is still pretty similar. Defense is still pretty similar. Okay, let's modify our designs a little bit, because the Moss can have. If I put a radio on it, okay, let's see what that does to the breakthrough. Okay, 113, or I'm sorry, 118 versus 104. I don't know if that's worth the cost, but I do have access to cheats, and so just for funsies, grab all those techs, and we're going to see what the Moss looks like if I put a better radio in it. How about advanced radio? Okay, no, that would add 20 to the breakthrough. Now, hold on, let me just check something. Yeah, it's also more expensive to do that. The cost inches ever higher. That puts the breakthrough at 131 on an infantry division versus 104. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm up in the air on whether it would be worth our time. Now, there's something else we need to consider. Moss, because of its super heavy gun, needs a lot of tungsten and chromium. So the Moss doesn't just cost 106. Moss also costs 4 steel, 4 chromium, and 5 tungsten per factory. Whereas Heavy Tank Destroyer Man needs 5 steel, 2 chromium, and 3 tungsten. That's a significant difference in resource costs. That makes a big difference there. Now, I'm not sure if it would still be worth it to do that. You know what I should do just to be thorough? Let me check. Let me slap a Christie suspension on it and a gasoline engine. Just for fun. Oh, I don't even need Christie for that. Can I go back to diesel? No. Hold on. What if I only used gasoline engine? That would still be a legal design. If I swap in the gasoline engine, the reliability is going to be terrible. But it does let me raise the armor value up even higher. Which puts me at an armor value of 139 on a soft, terrible infantry division. Which, that's not just can't be pierced. That's a significant piercing difference. Okay, let's test that. All right, we're gonna here, Germany. I need you to. We're gonna ALE this. Okay. Okay, we're gonna swap the three of. Okay, hold on. One of you is going somewhere else. Okay, you are going to turn into Space Marine A, and you are going to turn into Space Marine TD. And I did punch the ALE cheat in. Let's try again. Okay. And I'm going to turn the AI off. Okay. My stockpile should update. Yeah, I've got plenty of all different kinds of equipment. Now, I'm going to exercise these guys for just a little bit while they're receiving their new equipment and their new manpower. Oh dear. I have already made a small mistake. This might be changing our numbers around a little bit. Remember what I said earlier about how you can research texts that are even like not connected to other things? I've ALE'd. ALE is a cheat code for adding equipment, and it's all latest equipment, ALE. But that includes these MP43s, which have higher piercing, as you can tell, than the Carabiner 98Ks, which are the earlier tier equipment. So that's going to throw off our piercing numbers a little bit. Here. But let's let these guys get their equipment, their full quota of manpower and equipment, and we're going to look at actual stats in the field. See what they look like. Okay, it looks like, oh no, this other division does not. There we go. Now they've got all their equipment. Okay. Yeah, this is, you notice how these are not quite the same numbers we saw earlier? Yeah, this is why we do this. They also got tier 3 artillery, but I'm not super worried about that. You know what I didn't look at? I didn't look at terrain. Okay, so let's see. This division has a 4% reduction in. Oh, interesting. The Moss is better at fighting in forests, but it's worse in moving in hills. But it has. Okay, hold on. I'm being silly about this. Let's go take a look at terrain modifiers because I have not looked at those in a while. I'm not looking at the right thing. I want to look at them pure is what I want to look at. Okay, super heavy tanks have a speed reduction in hills. They have a speed reduction in mountain, but notice no change in attack value. And they, of course, do get the fort bonus that they've always had. Now, if we remove that and then we add in, that is not what I'm trying to add in, damn it. Heavy tank destroyers have an attack penalty in forest, an attack penalty in hills, urban, jungle, amphibious. Wait a minute. Hold on. Super heavy tanks have no terrain adjusters for Amphibious. Because, of course, tank destroyers do. Look at that. And rivers. And marsh. Oh my goodness. That changes everything. File that away for just a second. it may be time to rethink what I'm doing with the Moss completely. If it has no penalties for amphibious attack, rivers, or marshes, then you know who it's got to be stacked with, right? It's going to have to be stacked with Marines, and we're going to have to use it for amphibious attacks because... Let me do some research real fast, because Germany does not start with that tech. Paratroopers, Marines. And I haven't done any of the Special Forces techs, but I won't need to. Okay, Marines. Here. Here, we'll do a, how about a 22 width Marine division? Give it some support artillery, because, and engineers, and we're going to slap some Moss on there. And what do we got? Well, we have a... Oh my. Guys? You think I should report this to Paradox? Because I just want you to understand what we're seeing here. This is a Marine division that doesn't have any penalties to attacking, but has all the benefits of a super heavy tanks waiting ashore with the Marines. That might not be intended behavior. Okay, now let's try it with paratroopers. This is a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Yep, let me increment the counter. Because that is a terrible idea, what I just tried to do. Can you see what I did wrong? You'll notice that all these other support companies are flagged for paratroopers, but you know what's not flagged for paratroopers? Super heavy tanks. Okay, so a super heavy tank can't be dropped on as a paratrooper, but it does work for Marines because of the way the terrain values work. This is groundbreaking. This is amazing. I should have loaded as the US. I just loaded as Germany because I figured, it's Germany. We're doing super heavy tanks. It's thematically appropriate. Okay. Here, I'm going to exercise later. Let me advance the clock and let these guys exercise. And while they're exercising, I want to take a look at lost equipment. I want to see what the lost equipment cost is while we're doing this. Because, like, that'll give us a handle on how much of an impact reliability has. And let's, again, everyone needs to keep in mind that the tank destroyers that I have are much cheaper than the Moss. So while it looks like we're losing more elephants than we are to stupid basic Mosses, the reality is, yeah, I don't care about the Second Naval Treaty. It can go away. The reality is that it does cost more in terms of lost. Okay, there we go. We're done exercising. We reached the correct thing. Yeah, 6 Moss lost to 7 elephants. Yeah, that's expensive. That could get really expensive after a while. Okay. If you've just joined us, we are testing some basic unit stats with the new Moss support company. And looking at it on the actual map, this is what we see between a Moss versus a heavy tank destroyer with a tier 3 gun. And I do want to draw everyone's attention to this value right here. A Moss designed in a certain way can have enough armor that heavy tank destroyers have a hard time piercing it when it is attached to an infantry division. Now, we need to test this. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to tag to Poland. And I'm going to research some of the same texts. And what I want to do, I have a plan. See, I have a master plan here. I'm going to give Poland a couple of divisions. I'm going to give Poland 5 divisions with heavy tank destroyers that have identical stats to German heavy tank destroyers. And identical template to German heavy tank destroyers. In fact, let me make sure I remember what the stats are, because I don't want to mess this up. And I want to have 5 of those go up against 5 of the Space Marines with the Moss and see what it looks like in actual combat. We're not going to add doctrines or national spirits or advisors. We just want to look at the performance of the units. Okay. Okay, sloped armor, max armor, 12 engine, diesel, cast armor. Okay. All right. We're going to see how they perform versus one another. That's all right. Basic. No, here we go. Improved heavy tank. Thank you. Advanced heavy cannon. Okay, you got the right turret. We'll do sloped armor. Torsion bar. Cast armor. Diesel engine. Oh, I didn't. I'm an idiot. I did it again. It's like the second time I didn't pick up the engine and armor tags while trying to do stuff. You'd think I'd know this by now, but I don't. Reset. Try again. Okay, approved heavy tank chassis. Cast armor. Torsion bar. Diesel. Advanced heavy cannon. Okay. Why are you not... No experience points to spend. Oh, I could fix that. There we go. And I could go ahead and give myself some political power. Okay, this is going to be... I'm going to call this Heavy Tank Destroyer. That is a stupid looking icon for it. There we go. That's a much better looking icon. That oh, you don't have the sloped armor. There we go. Sloped armor. Okay, we got the sloped armor. Now, let's make an infantry division. Duplicate you. We're going to put in that. Support artillery. And we're going to add... You know, why am I not good at this? There we go. Tank destroyer. Much better. Once again, we're going to duplicate you. We're going to put in engineers, support artillery. I'm going to add a heavy tank destroyer to you. We're going to, I don't know why they call it that. We're going to call this Space Marine TD. Boom. Okay. And we're going to take those 5 divisions. Congratulations. You all got promoted to Space Marines. You are now Space Marines, and we're going to start exercising you. Did I turn the AI off already? Yes, I did. Okay. Now I'm going to tag back to Germany. And we're going to take... Is that 5 divisions? That's 4. Here, one of you get put here. That's 5. And all of you are swapping to Space Marine A. And we're going to... why are you not swapping? Oh, because I'm an idiot. That's what. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to order you to start exercising. We'll let the game run and exercise everyone up to full XP because I want this to be... I want their XP levels to be equal. And we will have... I'll do a save and then I'll have some fighting in open terrain. We'll try some fighting in woods, and in urban tiles, and we're going to see what happens Here, you guys go here. And Germany has plenty of fuel. If you do testing like I do, and you test aircraft, one of the things you will quickly become familiar with is that Germany and a couple other countries don't have a whole lot of domestic fuel. And so you have to not just factor in, I don't care about Spanish Civil War, you have to factor in, oh, I need to trade for fuel or spawn in extra fuel or spawn in extra fuel refining techs so that you can actually have the fuel to run aircraft tests. I've had a bunch of aircraft tests ruined over the years when I just forgot to do the fuel. And I'm like, man, why are these planes performing so weirdly? Did I find a bug? Oh, no, just nobody has any fuel. And, okay, let's check Poland. Poland. Okay, their divisions are almost done. I'm going to let them cook a little longer. Here, we're going to motorize their supply. Why are you... Yeah. Let me just make sure supply is okay for them. Okay, that should be alright. That's another thing. When you test ground units, you really need to pay... You need to make sure supply is actually okay. Because you're going to feel like a real idiot if you're like, oh, this ground unit sucks. Oh, well, it's because it's out of supply because I'm testing in a location without motorizing supply and all that other nonsense. Okay. Oh, these guys are not actually in supply. Did you not have enough infantry kits? Okay, we're going to ALE in some more infantry kits. And why are you having a supply issue? You should have... Oh, Poland doesn't... Oh, am I... Poland doesn't have the tech for trucks. That's why they can't motorize their supply. Okay, let's... Do they have the tech for trains? They do. Okay, so let's ALE in... Alright, we're going to ALE in trucks. Okay. Is this going to fix your supply? It will fix the supply. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and do test save 1. And I'm going to fight this first test battle in the plains. And then we'll try some other tiles and see what it looks like. Tag back to Germany. If I could type correctly. Okay. Let's go. Allow Diplo. Allow. God damn it. Allow Diplo. Okay. Just declare war. All right. Okay. Now, this division can deal 65% of their damage to the armor of 5 enemy divisions. These guys are doing 100%. Okay, so, full-on Moss. Yeah, this is going to go bad for the Poles as well. No generals, no leaders. Here, you need to do that. Let's take a look at what the battle said. Combat stats. Alright. Yeah, that's about what I thought. We lost 5 stupid basic Moss to 13 heavy tank destroyers. That's a clear... Hey, Lawbite Citizen, what's up, buddy? You know what? It's the person that I'll be paying for the Baskin Robbins. That's who's going to mix it. But I'm just going to be honest with you. See, when I go to Baskin Robbins, I get a sugar cone. I don't get a fancy waffle cone. I don't get a cake cone. So it's all got to fit in a sugar cone. And if that's not wrong, then I don't want to be right. Okay, so looking at this, those super heavy tanks had no problem pushing aside enemy heavy tank destroyers But they did lose more total cost than the Poles did because those Moss are like 3-4 times the cost of those tank destroyers. Also, let's see. Detailed list. No, give me the detailed list. Yeah. Because, like, all the other stuff is kind of comparable, but... Well, the Poles lost more infantry kits, too, because their divisions did take more damage. But you saw it. You guys saw it there. The difference in stats here between this division and this division mean that with the right design for the Moss, heavy tank destroyers have a real hard time, forgive me, I'm crunching ice, inflicting damage on the Moss. However, as I said earlier, nothing stops you from putting the super heavy gun on a tank destroyer. And if you did that, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to pierce, but that's going to raise the cost of those heavy tank destroyers significantly. So I don't know how that's going to really affect things. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back to the save, and let's try this in bad terrain. Let's see what this looks like in bad terrain. Okay, whoops, I need to go to Germany. Okay, Germany. Yeah, okay, we're going to attack into the woods. Make sure I turn the AI off. If you don't turn the AI off when every time you reload from a save game, you will cause yourself a ton of angst when you test. Okay, you know what? I'm going to let these guys dig in. I wish they would dig in faster, but... Yeah, I'm not even at the point of looking at 36 width meta. I'm literally just looking at tanks. But, like, the super heavy tank... Keep in mind, the super heavy tank takes a support slot, so that doesn't even impact your width. Okay, they are now dug in. Let's do allow Diplo. Oh. And we're going to have Poland declare war on Germany, just because that's the kind of guy I am. Okay, Germany. Attack. Okay. Again, 65% of the damage is getting through. No, with the Poles dug in forest. Yeah, that didn't go well for them at all, did it? Ooh, and when you look at the good reliability on those tank destroyers, they recovered a bunch that they lost. Okay. So digging in still matters. You know, let's exercise these guys back up to full strength. Okay, get your org back up. Let's try again. Okay, that's interesting. All right, back to the save. They do have the... Well, no, you're 100% right about that. However, there's something that I discovered that you may not have realized. I don't know if anyone's realized this yet. I want you to take a look at something. I want you to look at the terrain adjusters for the new super heavy support thing. Okay, we got terrain adjusters for forts, mountains, and hills. But Citizen, do you know what you don't see any terrain adjusters for? Rivers, amphibious, and marshes. Which means if I mutate this, let's mutate this. Oh, I'll have to show it. Hold on, I don't have enough actual divisions. But if you look at this division I've designed here, you can see that a Marine division with super heavy tanks has these kinds of stats with no reduction in amphibious capability or river crossing capability. Like, you don't even freaking need amphibious armor because the super heavy tanks will do all the armor stuff you need, and you could just use Marine infantry. Hell, I think we should test right now. I'm going to move these divisions to this port right here. And I'm going to go to Poland. Make sure I turn the AI off. Okay, AI is off. I'm going to move these guys to... Oh, troops may not enter Danzig. That's right. I'm going to move these troops here. And we're gonna put you on a special little battle plan. Here, get that planning done. I want you... We're gonna see if the... Yeah, now you get it? No debuff on any of those terrains. Now, the tooltips could be lying, so I'm going to do an actual test and see if that's the case. If that is the case, then I have a bug report to fill out. Because they really, if they don't have those debuffs, then like entire parts of the tree have been rendered obsolete. Okay, we're ready to launch this attack. Allow Diplo. Declare war. Now, I've got no techs, no doctrines, no generals. Let's launch the invasion. And this division has such terrible piercing, it can't do anything to the naval penalty is negative 45%. I'm also exceeding combat width, which was... Oh, I'm at night. That's why my stats are terrible. There we go. During day, it's much better. Yeah, that might be a problem. That might be a big problem. If you are just joining the stream, I want to go back and make sure that everyone who's joined the stream understand what I'm talking about. The Super Heavy Tank Support Company has no terrain adjusters for any sort of amphibious operation, river operation, nothing. They have terrain adjusters for forts, mountains, and hills, but just go ahead and attach them to Marines, like I've done here. And it won't impact the Marines' ability to do Marine stuff. That attack I just did was with regular infantry divisions. No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right, citizen. Because Italy's got that cost reduction. And, yeah, and they already have special forces buffs, right? So, yeah, we're going to see super heavy tank Marine formations. And you're going to be like, oh, well, I'll just use tank destroyers to stop them. But as we've already established, this infantry division or this Marine division with 20 Mosses and a support company has an armor value of 137 versus the piercing on a heavy tank destroyer of 104. You're going to be in a world of hurt trying to do that. Now, I'm going to redo this test. Hold on. Let's redo this test. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with a single Marine division. Here. Can I turn you into a Marine? Of course I can't, because I'm not playing freaking Germany, because I'm a freaking idiot. Alright, let's try again. I swear to you, I'm a pro. Okay, so we're going to put you here. Put you on a battle plan there. I'm going to turn the AI off. We're going to let them go there. I'm not going to even exercise them. We're going to see what the penalties look like when this division launches. Now, if you've just started the stream, remember, this is a Marine template with super heavy tanks. Okay. Are you done planning? Oh, I need naval supremacy. Yeah, okay. Let's allow Diplo. Let's try again. Allow Diplo. Declare war. Launch. Germany at war. You know what I love about that Germany at war again message is when you're doing tests like this, it's really just a sign of how often you've been doing this. Okay. Yeah, this division is only getting... Everyone, this division is only getting night penalties. You see it right here. So, yeah, super heavy tanks, Italy, Mussolini, Space Marine, super heavy tanks. Yeah, also, this division can't even come close to piercing it, so they can literally inflict no damage. And they're ashore. Battle stats. We lost one lousy Moss doing that. Yeah, that's not okay, folks. That's not okay. Someone put a comment on the video and just remind me to fill out a bug report because that's madness. That is absolute insanity. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Spiffing Brit and his content, but like I am nowhere near the Spiffing Brit's content, but that is an exploit that even a basic player could do. So I've had one bad idea, but I've also had one good idea. Exploits found. 1. And we'll scooch that up a little bit. Okay. So we currently have one bad idea located, and we've got one exploit found. Okay. We are cooking tonight, folks. That Baskin Robbins is getting tastier and tastier every second we play. Let's go back to the save. And now I want to check something else. Oh, that's Poland. God damn it. Okay, there we go. I swear to God, my ability to click on things. You'd think I'd be a professional at clicking on the UI for Hearts of Iron 4 these days. I am not. I am not a professional. I don't know what I am, but professional is not it. Okay. Now, let's keep in mind that the moss that I've been using for this is this moss. But, you know what? Can we make it even more powerful? We're going to call this Stupid Moss A. Stupid Moss. Make sure I'm doing it. We're going to call this, hold on, Stupid Basic Moss A. Gotta keep my version numbers right. Stupid Basic Moss A. And we're going to mount 3 cannons onto it, which raises the cost to 121. And then I'm going to ALE it. And hopefully, let me turn the AI off. These divisions should get replacement. They should get replacements. Any minute now, they're going to get replacements. You're going to send those upgrades out? You're not going to do it, are you? Folks, always remember that even if you have a better version of a tank, and I did ALE it, so I should have, make sure I've got them in the stockpile. I've got 10,000 stupid basic Moss A's in stockpile with better stats, but they are not filtering to my divisions. And the game doesn't think I need to filter them to my divisions. Ugh. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap you to Space Marine TV, and then we're going to immediately swap you back to Space Marine A. There we go. Much better. Then we're going to exercise you, get you back up to full XP. And then we're going to try those against the poles and see how it works out. Okay. Now, they've got better stats than they did before. They got increased hard attack and soft attack. And the poles have had time to dig in. Okay, and the terrain. Okay, it's plains, but we don't have, like, snow or frozen stuff yet. So we're going to go ahead and allow Diplo. Let's declare war. Let's see how the Moss performs in this scenario. Oh, yeah, we're just... Well, the poles are probably going to win this one. Okay. Dug-in poles, even on open terrain, are still able to beat the stupid basic Moss A with all of its extra guns. The piercing, the difference in armor values does not cancel out the value of just being fully entrenched. Now, okay, so we've got options for Space Marines, but you know what? I have a really stupid idea. You know what? Here, let's go back to the old save, but I've got an idea. Because the support company takes no width and it has no terrain penalties, then what that means is there's no reason we can't attach it to any kind of a division. So what would a 36 width Panzer division look like with a Moss attached? Let's find out. So we're going to just add. Put some more motorized on here. And just because I'm a nice guy, I'm going to put in the kind of motorized that most people would think goes on here. Okay, 36th width division. Now, just for reference, this is what this division looks like with the light tanks that I have right now. These are its. You know what? Let me do that, and then let me duplicate and make a Panzer with Moss template. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to go here. You are going to be Panzer Division. You are going to be Panzer with Moss. And don't I have enough equipment? Yeah. Okay, we do have enough equipment. We're going to let these guys fill up with equipment, and we're going to take a look at what their stats are. Oh, you have returned. Oh, Tobias, did you miss? Oh, you missed it. Oh, no, I confirm. Oh, you missed it, Tobias. I confirmed with an amphibious attack with Moss tanks on Gdynia here, that there are no terrain adjusters for the Moss. It's not just a UI issue. Marines landed there, and there was literally no penalty to the amphibious attack with Moss. So I really need to put a bug report to Paradox and say, guys, you need terrain adjusters on this. Like, that's just a bald face. You really can't do that. Okay, we're testing out something different. All right. We're gonna see what stats look like with basic light Panzer division versus a light Panzer division that has the Moss attached to it. Okay. Panzer division with the Moss attached to it has 136 armor, 105 piercing compared to all of that. The problem is, of course, it's much slower. Oh, but you know what? This test doesn't make any sense unless I actually have something to compare it to. Because, of course, it's going to have higher stats. So what we need to do is... Here, we're going to research... Dang it. There we go. Research on icon click. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Well... The amphibious Moss. That's just historical. Okay, you know why it's historical, Tobias? Because the historical Moss couldn't cross a lot of bridges because it was too heavy. So it would have to be amphibious. I don't even think the Moss could cross the Rhine. Okay. I'm going to design... Okay, we're going to duplicate you. We're going to call you medium Panzer division. And... yeah, that is why it had historical. Well, I don't know when you wandered off, but yeah, I confirmed it definitely is. It definitely is goofy. It's not a UI issue. There are no penalties for using the Moss on amphibious attacks. Okay, that's a medium division. Now we're going to copy this and we're going to make a heavy tank division. Heavy Panzer division. And we're going to do heavy tank. And what my goal... Let me explain. I'm probably not explaining what I want to do well. Light tanks are really poor performers. They are not great. But if the super heavy support company adds sufficient stats, I want to see if those stats look good compared to bog standard medium or heavy tanks. So I'm going to design an improved medium tank with... Oh, how about the improved medium cannon? I'll put an improved radio on it. We'll give it Christie, suspension. We're going to make it go 8 kph. And, you know, we're going to add some armor. Here we go. We'll add 5 steps of armor to the Panzer IV. God, I hate this icon so... Hey, Wendy, what's up? Yeah, the Moss Support Company crossing of... yeah, by video game magic. Not enough quotation marks to do that. That is a stupid icon as well. You know, you'd think I'd know how to do that. Yeah, that's why I've got the Panzer Division set up for 36 width. And let me make a heavy tank. You are going to be a heavy tank. And I need a better icon for you. Okay, there's a better icon. Well, that's what it's looking like. Moss over the Rubicon. Is that going in or out of Italy, though, Tobias? Will it be Italian Special Forces Super Mosses to go over the Rubicon to go? Oh, you're gonna go take. You're gonna go attack Mussolini. Pure width. Okay. Let me ALE in a bunch of equipment. All right. So, here, you guys go to Berlin. And you guys are going to go into that same thing, and you are going to become a medium panzer division, and you're going to become a heavy panzer division. And we're going to move you guys to Berlin. We're going to move you guys to Berlin, and I'm going to select all of you. I'm going to exercise you, and I'm going to turn the AI off so I don't forget Mussolini. You know what? I'm going to steal that from my bug report when I report the terrain problems. I'm gonna when I take the picture of the moss, I'm gonna call it the Mussolini. I probably should have made them 40 width, but what's important right now is that they all have the same width, and then we'll see what that looks like. All right, everybody, get your tanks. Come on, tanks, any day. I like how we're breaking Great War treaties without even having like the AI turned on. Okay, let's see. Did I have this set up correctly? Okay. Okay, this is the light division. This is the light division with the Moss. This is the medium division, and this is the heavy division. Okay. Light Panzer division with no Moss. That's upper left-hand corner. Light Panzer division with a Moss has 136 armor and 106 piercing. Medium Panzer division, 51 armor, 63 piercing. Of course, I don't have TDs in it yet. I will do that in a second. And Heavy Panzer division, 120 armor with 115 piercing. So it looks like a light panzer division with an even split of motorized and light tanks has better armor than a division. Than a division with 360 Tiger tanks in it. Let's go for reference. I just want to look at the costs for a second. Yeah, that's yeah. No, we are looking at cost. Okay, the medium Panzer division at 36 width is 7,800. The heavy Panzer division is 15,000. Panzer with Moss is 7,000, and the basic light Panzer division is 4,800. So, yeah, you come out ahead using the Moss with light tanks. And it's not just cost in terms of production cost, but I only need 20 Moss per division. So you can get away with just like one steel for the Panzer IIs, and then you got these horrible resource costs for the Moss, but there's only 20 Moss per division. Whereas you got, hundreds of Panzer IVs, you got hundreds of Tigers. Huh. The speed is garbage, though. Let's see if we can make that better. Let's see if we can do better. I slap a Christie suspension on there, change nothing else. That puts us at 5.1 kph. All right, folks, this is the question. You know what? I hate to do this. I do like my question about Baskin Robbins, but we need a new poll. We need a new poll. is 5 kph an acceptable speed for Panzer formations? Yes or no? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, let's not do that. Oh, reliability 10%. Yay! Is there any other? Oh, wait, no, that's not even the lowest reliability I can get. No, that's not even the lowest reliability, because I can slap on small cannons. Oh, this isn't a legal tank because it's too slow. Ah, oh, nuts. I'd have to cut some armor out. Yep, okay, that is the most cursed tank you could probably make. A 4 kph Moss with 50 soft attack and a reliability of 0. You know what, though? I'm going to file that away for later. Maybe it's worth testing just how bad 0 reliability is. But let's zip it back. Okay. Let's slap on the Christie suspension. 5 kph. That's not a good enough speed to increase the armor. Well, there hasn't been a point to increasing the armor, but if I'm trying to concentrate, like this is why we're doing this test today, citizen. This is why we're doing this test today, because the meta has been for a while now cheap tanks, basic ghetto tanks, no armor upgrades because it's not worth it. But I have been able to use Moss support companies against heavy tank destroyers to not get to full I can't pierce you at all, but get to the 65% threshold. So you're only taking 65% damage. That might be worth it. Notice what I'm saying. Well, you can't see because I don't have a camera on me. But I got scare quotes going. It might be worth it. And that's why we're testing this, because it might change the way the math looks. And looking at those light tanks, if I can use a Moss to make those light tank divisions better, if I can make this division better, not good enough for an infantry tank in forest and jungle due to slowing down the division, but good enough for other terrains. Well, Wendy, you might have a point there. Might have a point. But if I can make this division have a decent speed, and make it have the same kind of armor and piercing you would expect on medium or heavy tanks, but instead I'm just filling it up with just like light tank spam that I could literally make at the beginning of the game, that changes the economics of everything. Because Germany's got those research boosts that could hypothetically get you to the super heavy tank fairly quickly. And if I could make light tank divisions that function effectively as medium tank divisions using super heavy support companies, that might be either that's a problem or that might be what Paradox is even trying to do, because I'm not 100% sure what they're trying to do. Now, this does have only 45% hardness compared to the 52% hardness of the heavy tank, but I don't think that small percentage difference is good enough. Let's see what I can do to make this better. Christie, let's roll back. No, the Moss doesn't get that much. Yeah, the Moss doesn't get that much speed, does it? Like, even if I roll the armor back. So, with Moss A and Panzer with Moss, that puts us at 5.1 kph. It does eat up that slot. So, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I think it's worth exploring further. I think it's worth keeping in mind. Um, but you know what I haven't tried yet? See, we've got all these slots here. I haven't added flame tanks. Okay, well, back to the drawing board. Let's make a flame tank. Oh, I need a tech for that. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look at what all the terrain modifiers look like with flame tanks on all of the Panzer templates, and then let's see what the terrain's going to look like, because I have a hypothesis, and that hypothesis is that a flame tank, here, let's ALE that in. A flame tank could, okay, we're going to put a flame tank there. Okay, put that in there. I'm going to swap out the artillery for that. I'm going to add a flame tank there. Now, you can see we're reaching the point. Add more stability modules. Are you saying to use the P&E engine to get more speed, law-abiding citizen? Because I don't think it's that much faster, is it? Yeah, I don't think it's that. No, I don't think that helps us much. Oh, you mean P&E? Oh, I now. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. You meant, yeah. I see what you were talking about. Okay, so we're gonna run. Did I turn the AI off? I did. Okay, good. We're gonna let these guys get their new equipment. Did they get their flame tanks? Okay, they got flame tanks. So we're okay. Let's take a look at stats. Okay, you're the basic one. You're that. Okay, that's the one with the moss. Okay. Terrain modifiers. Hold on. Which is the light tank one? Okay, let me swap these guys around so that I'm doing a comparison that's proper. Okay. So light tanks have minus 15% to attack in urban. Moss, put a moss with them, they still have a minus 15% to attack in urban, minus 15% to attack in urban, minus 20% to attack in urban. Excuse me, forest, minus 30, minus 20, minus 15. Wow, light tanks are... Oh, I can't read. I'm sorry. Minus 10, minus 15, minus 20. Jungle. Minus 30, minus 20, minus 15, and minus 15. River, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 15. Okay. Flame tanks. I'm not sure the flame tanks are really doing much for us. Okay, that was a silly idea. There's no point in fiddling around with flame tanks. I'm sorry, I put us all through that. That was a terrible idea. I award myself no points, and may God have mercy on my soul. Okay, flame tanks were bad. That was a terrible, terrible idea. Okay. Let's... If that's a bad idea, let me swap in some stuff here on the medium Panzer division. Let me make some medium tank destroyers. Then let me swap them in the template and see how they deal with... where's the improved high velocity? Okay. And let's see how they deal with light tanks with a moss. Okay, basic same tank. We're going to put that in there. Okay, medium tank, we're going to swap you for a tank destroyer, and we're going to swap you for a heavy tank destroyer. I'm out of XP. Damn it. Oh, they are definitely nice for fort busting. You won't get any argument from me. I've actually liked using them for urban attacks on supply hubs that are in cities, which a lot of supply hubs are. I've also tried using flame tanks in every division in the entire army, and that's when you suddenly have like 30 factories on flame tanks and you start questioning your priorities in life. Wait, this is the heavy tank destroyer. Okay. Now, let me ALE in some tanks. All right. Wait for them to get their equipment. Okay, hold on. You have. Did you have your? You have your jagged panzers. You have your elephants. Okay. You have. No, that's not the right template. Isn't one of you supposed to have a moss in it? Did I swap? Okay, there it is. I just can't click on things correctly because I'm an idiot. Okay. This is light tanks with moss. Let's see if in the field these divisions can deal with them. Armor 137 versus armor 118. I'm sorry, versus piercing 135 and piercing 93. I don't think the medium tank destroyers are going to cut it unless you double up on them. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but it doesn't, like, I know that we have granular piercing, but piercing of 93 versus 137, it's not even close to 50%, so you're going to be facing one of those, like, heavier penalties. On the other hand, the heavy tank division with tank destroyers is very close to beating the armor there, so this could work. You're supposed to wholly start fresh from on your H. What mods do you do, Tobias? Did you mean playing or modding? Yeah, I can't walk faster than 5 kph anymore. There's a time where I could. I can't now. But are you, Tobias, are you a modder or are you playing mods? This is... The tank's gonna go faster than you uphill. Yeah, no, I know. It's gonna go faster than you uphill. Okay. A player. Okay, because if you were giving up time on working on your mods, I was gonna tell you that the people who depend on you for your mods are probably really mad at you for not updating them. Oh, okay. So medium tanks with tank destroyers are gonna have a hard time facing off against. They're gonna have a hard time doing counter clicking on divisions with support companies. That's actually not the most terrible idea I've had. Okay. Now. Well, wait a minute. If I can only go 5 kph or so. Well, you know what? If you're really good at hunting bugs, the next time the Hearts of Iron beta is looking for new folks, you should probably fill out an application, because I have a feeling that they can always use more or new people to find stuff. But if I don't need you to go 7.5 kph, I can just, like, I can make you even super cheap. I can make this to be the cheapest tank in the universe. And we put a close support gun on there. Well, you know, wait, did I not do that? Wait. Oh, no, I didn't do that, because, oh, I'm a muggins. I can't believe I did that wrong. You're right. I thought I had done that. Here, that's Jag Panzer A. Let's AL, hold on, let's ALE it and take a look at the stats again. That raises the piercing to 135. Okay, that is actually sufficient. That puts it effectively on par with the heavy tank destroyers. Okay, that's reasonable. That's closer to it. So you could probably still click on it. But if I don't need a bunch of speed, could I make... Wow, that's expensive. How about not that? Could I make a better... Nope, that's too slow. 5.1 kph. Let's slap a close support gun on there. Give it a little more engine. And that raises the armor. Is it worth doing that? That is not worth it. Nope, that's still not worth it. You know what? Just for funsies, let's see if that raises the armor value. It raises it to 141 in the template designer. I don't think that's worth it. No, okay. So if somebody were to try and use super heavy tanks with light tanks as a kind of buff, you wouldn't want to use really good light tanks. You instead want like the cheapest, crappiest light tanks on the planet. Because you don't care, except for the gun. You want a decent gun on it. But you don't care about, like, armor values or anything else. Yeah, that should be sufficient speed right there. Yeah, you want to get that cost down. That's what you should do. Okay. All right. We learned something new. Of course, as we all know, the stats are probably going to change anyway. All right, next item up. Here, let me go back to an earlier save. This save is pretty contaminated with a bunch of nonsense. Let's go back. And let's test something. That's Poland, damn it. Now, I'm not sure if I heard... I'm not sure if... maybe you guys know this. Test the fight in Ethiopia. Haile Selassie does not approve. Have any of you heard whether they intend to keep super heavy tanks as like the tank destroyer version? Are those supposed to like continue to exist? Because I could just like save you as new, and there's a tank destroyer version. And then I could save as new, and I could put something else on here and make it, there's the heavy howitzer, and I could make you a artillery. Okay. Do we know if they're actually going to, allow us to continue putting super heavy tank destroyers on things? I'm not sure if I read that or didn't read it or didn't know what was going on with that. But for reference, you know, here, let me reset this. Let me duplicate. Let me throw this on here. Super heavy tank. Okay. Let me ALE it. Okay. Let's see. Here, you are now a copy of Space Marine A. You're going to get some tank destroyers. Oh, I need to turn off the AI before Poland declares war. Okay, that has Okay, so let's compare these stats in the field. This is a Space Marine with super heavy tank destroyers. This is the Space Marine with support company super heavy. Obviously, it has better piercing because it benefits from the tank destroyer tech tree. It requires 40 jagged moss to the 20 stupid basic mosses, which, I mean, that is a substantial price hike for an increase in piercing. I don't know how I feel about that. That's probably a terrible idea. But are they going to even let us keep the ability to do that, or are they just going to get rid of super heavy tank destroyers and super heavy self-propelled artillery? I don't know. That might be a question to toss to Korax on Twitter if I were on Twitter in the first place, which I am not. Now, let's... Oh, you know what I haven't checked yet? I didn't check something very important. Okay. This has a supply use of 1.12 versus 72 versus 102. Okay, so the Moss does draw more supply than tank destroyers. Okay, Wendy, so they might still allow that stuff. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, Wendy, I don't know what kind of masochist you'd have to be to use a super heavy self-propelled AA gun. I mean, let's hold on. You know what? Let's test it. Let's see if they've changed the stats since the last time I looked at it. Let's design one and see what it looks like. Maybe the stats are different. Improved. No, hold on. It would be advanced AA gun. We don't even need a turret that big. Hold on. Oh, I keep forgetting that you can't mount any other turret on here. So we're going to put you in anti-air. Flak Moss. Huh. Well, now you've got my attention. Let's see what Flak Moss looks like if I swap you out for Flak Moss. Yeah, I don't know if those stats really justify the inclusion of it. In fact, if I remember correctly, I should be able to mount... Yeah. This is probably... Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper, but I'm not sure this is probably the best idea. It's a good idea. I mean, it's, you know... I know someone's probably thinking to themselves right now, you put a tiny little AA gun on a giant Moss. And then someone else is going to say, but the 88 was a good gun. But yeah, the 88 isn't the same thing as some of the even bigger guns that some countries were using during the war. It's, I don't think it's worthwhile. It'll be interesting to see if they keep all that. But right now, we can still do that in Hearts of Iron. Okay. Let's do... Oh, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, folks. I gotta take care of the cat real fast. I have a kitty being sad. Kitty, kitty, kitty. taken care of. You know what? I'm just going to add that to the bad idea counter. Trying to give a cat a treat early, that was a terrible idea. We're just going to put that on the counter. Because now the cat thinks, oh, I'm still entitled to the treat that I should have gotten earlier, but nothing doing. Okay. So flak moss is still possible. Jag moss is still possible. Self-propelled artillery moss is still possible. Okay. We are still not done fooling around with this, with the moss. Oh, you know what I should do? I should take a look at the stats on some of those divisions with actual real doctrines in place. We'll go down. Hold on. You know what? This is faster if I just do the research. Research on icon click. Word of warning. Those who like to use console commands when they're testing, do not click on mutually exclusive doctrine options, because the research on icon click command will let you actually add doctrines you're not supposed to have. I think a couple of weeks ago that became an issue when I was trying to correct a doctrine problem via the console, and instead of correcting the doctrine problem, I just added an extra naval doctrine I shouldn't even have. Okay, let's take a look at the stats you guys would have in... Oh, wait, that save doesn't exist. Let me make a save. Did I... Oh, wow, do I even have any of those things? Oh, jeez. Here, hold on. Let me research some extra text. Okay, now we're going to create an improved medium tank. I'm going to put the howitzer on it. Christie suspension, some basic welded armor. Okay, that's good. Where's my improved heavy tank destroyer? I'm going to make a version of you that is not a tank destroyer. We're just going to save you as a heavy tank. Congratulations, you're a tiger now. Okay. Now, let me take a look at what these stats would look like with actual, real divisions. And I suppose I could replicate this with mechanized as well, but I just want to look at it in the designer and see what these stats look like. Okay, there's that. Duplicate you. Medium tank. Medium tank. You know, I wish there was a command that just say turn this entire column into medium tank. Duplicate. You are now heavy tanks. Okay. And let's... We're going to move all of you guys to Berlin, and we're going to turn each of you into a different kind of tank. There's that. We're going to turn you into that. And then we'll turn the last one into a Panzer division, and I just realized that I've made a mistake already because each of these has a super heavy in it, so I want to delete that out, and we're going to delete that out. Okay, let's just get you guys there. We're going to exercise you for just a bit while you're getting your new equipment. Did I turn the AI off? No, I did. Okay, good. Running, running, running. Oh, yeah. No kidding. No kidding. You know what? I haven't even thought of what you could do in Finland with that. Oh God, yeah, you could do some crazy stuff with the Finns. I'm also thinking that you could, if Denmark had the right kind of support and you had the right kind of divisions here, you could effectively stonewall the Germans for months on end, as long as the British would keep them from invading you. Like anywhere there's just like a narrow front, you should be able to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Turkey. Although, true story, my multiplayer group, we ended up making rules about not invading Turkey long before Death for Dishonor and any of that other stuff came out. Because we realized that it was basically impossible to keep Turkey from being invaded successfully unless you had a human player on Turkey constantly. Because Guderian could drive from here through there faster than the British Navy could stop him, and faster than the Turkish army could stop him, because the Turks wouldn't actually defend either side of the straits properly. And if the Italians dropped paratroopers, they could invade Turkey and drop paratroopers before the RAF could even be in a position to stop them. Which is disappointing, because you'd think you'd be able to actually like defend this a lot better, but it doesn't work that way in real life. Chemalist loyalists. You know, one day I've got to give Turkey a good play. I've never really given Turkey a good, proper playthrough. Why have you not... Are you out of... Did we not AoE in tanks? There we go. Okay. That's why we wouldn't do that. Okay. Pull that up, and pull that up. Let's take a look at your stats with actual, real, honest-to-God doctrines. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay, nothing... Okay, not act... Okay, I lied. I said that was interesting. It's not interesting. It's pretty much what you would expect. The only difference is, for some reason... Oh, it does, Wendy. Yeah, the AI has a ton of failures. And I'm not always sure why the AI like doesn't understand some really basic defensive stuff. But you know what? Okay, I'll give you another multiplayer story that highlights just like how humans sometimes fail. We had a game one time where and I was playing the US, so I got to watch this just as colors on a map. Where we were, in our multiplayer group, we usually didn't have any humans on France. So the German player did the whole Benelux thing and was trying to push on Paris. But as I'm sitting on the US, I keep noticing that, like, tiles in southern Germany were starting to turn blue. And in Discord, I messaged the other allies. I'm like, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? What's going on? And they're like, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. And what happened is that the player on Germany just left one of the tiles opposite the Maginot undefended and wasn't even looking at this. And so while he's trying to micro the attack on the Netherlands and Belgium, the French army made it to Munich before he knew what was happening to him. half the German army was like, or not half, but like a chunk of the German army was encircled on the Swiss border. It was, I mean, he pulled out of it, but because the French army under AI control took Stuttgart and Munich, that was two states in Germany that, because of the way the VPs worked, were no longer under German control. And he lost those factories for like 2 weeks. And we were like, how did that even happen? But it did. It did happen. Okay, I want to check something because I don't understand something. Okay, so the super heavy tank. Okay. Support artillery brings in basically no org. But the super heavy tank grants 19 org because it still has org like a line battalion. Y'all see that, right? 19 org. Support artillery is none. Engineers have 20 org. Support rockets have none. Support anti-tank have none. Support AA have none. Recon has some. I wonder if that's intended. I wonder if they intend. Now, keep in mind, I've got full doctrines in place, but I wonder if it's intended that super heavy tanks are supposed to donate this much org to a division, because that's not bad. That's not a bad amount of org. Here, let me go back a save and let's take a look and see how much of that depends on doctrines. Because at the save I have here, I don't have the doctrines researched yet. Okay, create him. Oh, damn it. There we go. Much better. Vision designer. Create empty. Oh yeah, no, the super heavy tanks support company is affected, because you can see I don't have any doctrines research yet, are affected in their org by mobile warfare buffs, just like support companies, support artillery is affected by superior firepower. In fact, yeah, which is, if you're not familiar with it, the integrated support doctrine adds plus 10 org to all support companies. Oh, you know what? Here, let's test that out. Let's see how much org I can get on my super heavy tanks from integrated support. We may have learned something. We may have learned something interesting. Well, well, well. Look at that, folks. You see that? That is, oh my goodness. We're going to update the exploit counter for that. I'm pretty sure that is not intended behavior. 30 org for super heavy tanks. Now, just for comparison purposes, notice that's more org than support artillery. Not as much org as engineers and recon. I'm not sure that's intended behavior. Well, now you've got me interested. Are there any other? Am I missing any support? Where are some? Are there? Okay, hold on, guys. Are there any other support company buffs I'm missing, or? Oh. Let's see what it looks like when we go through the whole tree. Tank attack. Where's org? All frontline battalions. Division recovery rate. Yeah, let's go through here and see what it looks like. Oh my, we may have... This might be... Oh, it's also a... Yeah, it's you can stack tank and... Yeah, because now it's got 32 org once I go through the right branch of the tree in superior firepower. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's intended or unintended, but that seems like a problem. Just for, you know what? Hold on. Let me cheat in some more XP. You know what? Let's see what it looks like under mass. Oh, shit. Well, this is that bug I was talking about. Or not a bug, but the problem with using the research cheat. You see I now have mass assault and superior firepower at the same time. Okay, let's go back to a save. Ugh. This is what happens when you're a filthy cheater or tester like I am. Okay, AI turned off. Let's add in some XP. Let's tag to actual Germany, which is what I should have been doing the whole time. XP. Let's see what the super heavy tank looks like under mass assault with deep battle. He said deep battle. Sorry, I've been watching the Beavis and Butthead, and it's actually pretty good. They have a wonderful, wonderful thing they do during Cardi B's WAP video. They talk about it like it's a realtor's walkthrough video instead of a music video, and it's hilarious. Okay. Super heavy tank. Okay. Not as good in mass assault deep battle. That's worse than superior firepower, and it's worse than mobile warfare. Okay. And just for completeness sake, we'll go through Grand Battle Plan. Now, I always forget which is the one that benefits tanks better. That, yeah, it's the left branch. Yeah, I probably should know that, you know, seeing as how I've been playing Hearts of Iron for a little while, but I always want to double check and make sure. Okay, and survey says super heavy tank 12 org. Yeah, Grand Battle Plan does not help the super heavy support company out. Okay, so if you want to abuse the super heavy tank support company, your best bet is superior firepower or mobile warfare. Now, just for the lulls, it's not a frontline battalion anymore, is it? Okay, let me just record this. What is your current soft attack? Okay, super heavy tank has a soft attack of 35. Let's check this out. Let's see what superior firepower can do to it. First step in superior firepower. Does that actually impact it? Yes or no? It shouldn't. It does. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's an exploit we just found, folks. Oh my. I'm up to how many bug reports I gotta fill out now? Okay. All right. Let's see what else we can fish out of the tree. Let me spawn in some more Army XP. All right. Okay, delay won't have any impact. All infantry, moat, and mech, that won't matter. Okay, now these integrated support and regimental combat teams, yeah, that's going to boost the firepower, isn't it? Let's take a look at what it looks like after that. Yeah, look at that. 56 soft attack. Well, that's looking pretty good. Now, you always got to ask yourself, do you want more soft attack from superior firepower, or do you want the benefits of the mobile warfare tree? But it looks like the game is still treating it like a line battalion, even though it's not a line battalion. But it's also being treated as a, as a support company, which means it's stacking all the bonuses. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we go there. Now, which of these branches should boost it more? Okay, that's infantry and artillery, recon. Tanks get org, but no firepower. Artillery, all infantry, mech. Okay, versus the entire army gets hard attack. Tanks get... Okay, yeah, we're doing this branch. That's the branch we should do. Okay, just tons of Space Marine exploits? I mean... Not like a Googleplex of Space Marine exploits. Let's take a look at it now. Oh my goodness. 59 soft attack. Okay, that wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be. Hard attack went up, though. Now, I'm going to do something heretical. And I know everybody hates me because I do this, but I have a dirty little secret that you guys need to know. And that dirty little secret is that it is great for something that takes zero combat width, but I was actually expecting air-land battle to boost it even higher. I was expecting to boost it even more. But yeah, you're right. That makes it... It's not more cost-efficient than support artillery, but that makes it pretty damn good. But I do have a confession that I want to make, and this is real talk time here on the stream. You know, it's 8:30 local time for me. I haven't had any Baskin Robbins or alcohol tonight, but I want to confess to you, I actually like the Blitzkrieg path right-hand side for mobile warfare, even in multiplayer. And in multiplayer, I've been known to create Panzer divisions that are closer to 15-5 and go right branch. Even though it's a terrible idea. Nobody else likes it. But I liked the org modifications for going on that side. So we're going to take a look and see... We go right side Blitzkrieg path. And we're going to see how much org I can get out of the support company this way. We will, of course, pick up all the other ones as well. We're going to go Modern Blitzkrieg. Just because I want to round it out. The most cost-effective super heavy Space Marine. Well, now that, sir, is actually next on my list. Org of 22. Okay. That's not what I thought it was going to be. Okay. So, what this tells me is that... Oh, by the way, in case none of you noticed it, I just do want to point out that super heavy tank battalions provide 2.5 suppression, but they don't add hardness. So, it's a really expensive way to get suppression. You probably better stick to MPs, but I did want to show you the super heavy support company still has 2.5 suppression. Okay, this tells me that super heavy support companies probably actually work best with superior firepower. Let's poll that. End poll. Are super heavy support companies best with superior firepower? Yes or no? Boom. I think they look best with superior firepower. So if we want to hunt for the absolute best Space Marines, then we should probably do it with with superior firepower. Also, super heavy and superior firepower alliterates really well, which is going to make me look stupid, but that's all right. All right. go airland battle. Okay, now cost effective. Since we know that all those buffs from the superior firepower tree do impact the moss. Let's create a couple of different moss and see what we can come up with. Okay. So we're gonna rip that out. We're gonna rip that out. I'm just gonna keep the engine the same. And what we're gonna do instead are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? That's a 93 soft attack on a tank. Why can't I do? Oh, I don't have enough XP. That's easy to fix. Okay, we're gonna make this superior firepower moss. Light tank support companies would affect suppression. I can check that out right now because I think because armored recon, light tanks in the support column have 0 impact on suppression, which is why I don't think people do that. Okay, hold on. I'm getting off track here. Okay, superior firepower moss. Soft attack 93. Yeah, okay, you're right. I thought I needed some speed for those turrets. I don't. Oh wait. Oh, reset. What if I went to the diesel? Nope. Reset. Okay. Okay, that's superior firepower moss. Now we're going to duplicate this. And just for the lulls, I'm going to create howitzer moss. Oh, I can shave a little bit of engine off of that one. We're going to make a howitzer moss. Okay. And then we're going to make a tank destroyer version of moss. Oh, hold on. Reset. We're going to duplicate you, and we're going to create tank jag moss. But we're going to rename you... Tank destroyer... Alright, I can't spell tonight. Destroyer moss. Okay. Now... obviously, the cost of superior firepower moss is going to be identical to tank destroyer moss, but we want to look at it on a battalion level. So, first things first. Okay, super heavy support. Now, I can't save these designs. Okay, that's 20 super heavy tanks for 93 soft attack. Okay, so we're going to pull up the calculator, and I'm gonna 93. No, I'm already failing. I am so bad. Okay. You know, if I was gonna be this stupid, it'd be nice if I'd at least been drinking. Okay, 119 times 20 is 2380. Okay, let's write that down. Support moss 2380. And we're gonna okay, support moss 2380. Now let's take a look at the cost of a super heavy tank destroyer. Requires 40. So that's going to be, we already know that's going to be double the cost. I can actually save this. That's going to be double the cost. So TD Moss is 47,660. Okay. For less soft attack, but more hard attack, armor, and piercing. And let's see what super heavy support moss is. Wait, what? That's not as... Wait. Hold on. Okay, that's only 108. Why? That doesn't make sense. Hold on. No, I guess it does. Okay, howitzer moss. All right, never mind. I'm a big idiot who doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so that's... we calculate that out. So that's 40 times 109. That's 4360. Let's put that up on the board. I mean, it's obvious that support moss is the winner here in terms of cost by a long shot. I mean, okay, yeah, like, don't have to be a genius to figure that out. But I'm actually surprised that... See, I have all the artillery techs, and it's just that the howitzer... It's because the howitzer... Yeah, here's the problem. Okay, that's the stats on the super heavy gun. Okay, and these are the stats on the heavy howitzer. The heavy howitzer technically has more soft attack. No. Wait a minute. Oh, that's... Okay, folks. I'm an idiot, and I didn't realize the howitzer moss gets the artillery upgrades and the combined arms upgrade from superior firepower, but superior firepower support company moss is a support company, so it gets the 2 plus 25% upgrades from integrated support and regimental combat teams, plus the superior fire boost, plus the combined arms boost, which means that even though technically it's slightly less firepower than howitzer moss, you'd have to be a literal crazy person to waste time with howitzer mounted mosses, because this is way more cost efficient for almost as much firepower. Unless they change it so that there's like a support artillery version of the moss. But I think we've seen it here that this... I don't want to say that this is going to be the new meta because I'm not that smart. But what we're seeing here, if this does not change... Yeah. Hey, look, I'm slow, okay? I really do a live stream just to talk through my process in testing and cogitating about Hearts of Iron. I'm not actually any good. This has been, what, 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of gameplay, and I've managed to come up with 4 conclusions, whereas better players than me have probably better ideas. But this may not be the new meta, but this points in the direction of some kind of new meta. Because, like, this is an insane amount of firepower to put into a support company. that also provides piercing and armor. The problem is, okay, let's, you know what we're going to do? I'm not the smartest guy. So we're going to try something different. I want to see how quickly can you pick up the super heavy tank using Germany's research boosts. Okay. So I'm going to use the FA cheat so that I can autocomplete focuses. And so I'm going to do Army Innovations, Treaty with the USSR. I'm going to roll the clock so that the USSR will take the treaty. Thank you. Then I'm going to autocomplete Army Innovations 2. Okay. Germany starts. Don't report it to Paradox. I'm going to report you to Paradox. I want to be like, yeah, that law-abiding citizen guy, yeah, he didn't want me to report this bug to you, but I'm going to be the nice guy and report it anyway. Okay, 1940 heavy tank is going to take, it's 3.99 years ahead of schedule. No, you know what? We're doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. I think a better choice would be the Soviet Union. We're going to do Soviets instead. However, I'm going to make Germany fire the tank treaty. Okay. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. Start that research. Tag to Germany. Use the autofocus the completed focus. I always get this wrong. Complete the autofocus. Where is... There we go. I don't know why it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Okay, now tag back to the Soviets. Okay, let's run it. Yes, I'll take it. Okay, that should net me 2 research on model bonuses. And then where can I get some more armor bonuses in my focus tree? That would actually be useful. Because there's lots of armor bonuses, but what would be useful to me? Rehabbed military reorganization. Tank and Ground means to range war. That's support technology. Truck and infantry weapons. Quantity has its own quality. Well, we might be able to merge the two here. Okay, am I stupid? Isn't there a ahead of time research boost for tanks in the tree somewhere? Where am I missing it? Is it Lessons of War? Adaptable? No, where is it? Or should I be looking under... Okay, there's Glory of the Red Army. But that just gives us Masterful Blitz. They Will Know Fear. But that's just... No, that just gives me Advanced Heavy Tank Chassis. Okay, maybe I'm... You know what? No, we're just going to go ahead and... We're going to run this at max speed. And see what I can... See if this is faster. Because I've got... I could have swore there was an ahead-of-time tank research focus in the Soviet tree somewhere. Am I stupid? Probably I'm stupid. That's probably the correct answer. See, part of my problem, and this is where I'm a silly player, is that there are so many ahead-of-time bonuses to keep track of in Hearts of Iron that I forget where all of them apply. Okay, This is going to take forever. Yeah, I don't care. Stop. Stop. You know what? We're turning the AI off. I don't want the AI to do anything. Run fast. Run fast, my game. Run fast. Oh, good. Stalin's going to start purging people. He's going to slow down my research. Here. Let's appoint Comparative as a designer. You know what? I probably should just, like, purge some people. I should, like, purge people and stuff, because purging is cool. And you know what? I can use the F8 cheat just to get around all the limitations. Oh, that's the... You're right. It's the right Russian tree. The white Russian tree. You're right. Eh. I screwed that up. Why can't I auto-complete that focus? Oh, I have to do the other cheat to do that. Where is that cheat? Okay, basic heavy tank chassis is done. Okay, that's 650 days to get to the improved heavy tank. And while we're doing that, where's the console command to do what I want to do? Focus autocomplete. Focus no checks. That's the cheat I need. Focus no checks. There we go. Now I should be able to end the purge so I don't have to have stupid pop-ups making my life miserable. We're just going to bring all the traitors to justice immediately. And we're going to discipline the party and behead the snake. Another group of traitors. And we're going to do Stalin's cult of personality. More armor boots. I wish there was a cheat command. Yeah, you're right, Wendy. There's really not a... You don't give a whole lot of choice on that. But I wasn't thinking about using that ahead of time focus right out of the gate, but I was thinking of picking up what the mystery ahead of time focus that I thought it was, like in 38, because this research should be done 38. Let's see what that'll look like. The super heavy buff. Well, I don't... that means I have to start over, though, citizen. Yeah, I don't want... I just want to see how fast I can research it. Let me just see if I can get super heavy tanks in production in a reasonable amount of time. Oh, you know what I should probably do? I should probably, I don't know, research texts that actually, like, matter. Let me see if I can... Yeah, we'll do that. I'll pick up some computer techs. And then we'll see if that can speed up the research process. Because if the Soviets can get super heavies in production by sometime in 40, that's enough time to make a difference. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I'd be willing to trade out like a lot of other techs if I could get the super heavy done that quick. Oh, you're 100% right, Nico. However, if I don't want to waste my armor research bonus on that yet. So I don't want to grab that tech yet. What? Iron... What is happening? Why are... Did I not set this to his... Wait. That said Iron Wolf Lithuania... Oh, it's tiny little... What are you doing, guys? Oh, I turned the AI off, which means that some countries are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because they're idiots. Oh, guys. This is what happens when you run the game for a couple of years with the AI turned off. The AI can't do any of the things it needs to do to prevent this sort of thing from happening. So we're going to watch perpetual revolutions happen. But you know what the good news is? Bulgaria won't be running the stupid MRO. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that MRO is the worst thing for anyone in the Balkans. I don't even have to poll that. I just know that that's what it is. MRO is terrible. Okay, 268 days till we can get that done. Here, we're just going to just keep the slots going. All right, mechanical computing. By the time that's done, I can go ahead and pick up the computing machine. If you've just joined the stream, I don't have the exploit counter up anymore, but we found at least 3 different exploits with the super heavy support tank. The best part in the game is MRO. You know what? I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I'm just concerned that that's the part that you really enjoy is MRO. Because you know who doesn't like MRO? This guy doesn't like MRO. And I have a good reason for not liking MRO, by the way. Because it doesn't seem to matter if I'm not Bulgaria, not Greece, not Yugoslavia, and not Romania. It doesn't matter what I do in the Balkans. Bulgaria screws everything up with Macedonia and stuff. And I'm like, why is MRO happening? Like, China could invade? Okay, what's happening now? National Spain... Wait. Okay, so this is the Spanish Civil War where the AI turned off. AI, no one exploited. No one expected that. So, we've got Spanish Directory, Carlist Spain, Republican Spain, Anarchist Spain. Any other Spains want to join? I mean, I'm not picky. Go, Karov, go. Research faster. I haven't even done any. Do you know how weird this feels with no purge happening and nothing to do? Nice to see that the peasant uprising in Poland is guarding the Soviet border really well. Good job, guys. I mean, I could still just walk through the railways and eventually take, you know, whatever city that is. Yeah, no kidding, Nicozilla. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Good job, Latvia. Real proud of you, buddy. Gosh, if I'd known it was this much fun to run the game with the AI turned off for years at a time, I'd have done it years ago. We'll just see how many civil wars can happen. Oh, do you think Romania would have a civil war? If we just... Nah. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's see. Let me do some math. Let me do some math real fast. Is that... Because I'm terrible at math, so... Okay, that's 834 days divided by 365. No, apparently I can't type today. 365. So that's 2.28 years. So that means, yeah, I could, as the Soviets, even without going like white Russians, I could, let's, you know what? I'm going to just keep running this super fast. Zoom. But the calculator's telling me that in 2.28 years, I can put the Moss into production, which gives me... That gives me Moss in production by, I don't know, September of 40? Yeah, Yeah, well, now that I've got the moss being researched, now we can go pick up the other techs that were... Yeah, that's basically what... You're exactly right. It's a 1940 chassis. Okay, we're not ready to do that tech yet. I don't even need to research a cannon because I could just use the super heavy tank cannon. So we're going to do that. Let's get some industry techs in place. This is going to be really sloppy, guys. But let's see what we can do. A violent era. It's not violent. What are you talking about? Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'm just going to... I want to screen cap that real fast. Bulgaria declared war on Bulgaria. Okay, carry on. Which Bulgaria is this again? This is non-aligned Bulgaria versus... they're both non-aligned. Wait, what are you doing, Bulgaria? Stop. What is happening? Nikozilla, you're the expert on Bulgaria. You tell me what is going on. It's not just a... Guys, this isn't just a civil war. This is two different non-aligned Bulgarias having a civil war. It says Republic of Bulgaria, but you and I both know damn well that it's a non-aligned Bulgaria run by a non-aligned party with no elections. What? Yeah. What are you doing? What is happening? Why are you happening? Okay, well, okay, hold on. You know what? I gotta change the counter again. This is... Okay, it's a little early to do those techs yet. Okay, hold on. We'll pick up maybe log. Hold on, I gotta change something. Are we up to 3 unintentional civil wars? Hold on. We got 1, 2, 3... No, we're up to 4... No, 5 unintentional civil wars. Hold on, I can't count. I cannot count. Okay, we're up to unintentional civil wars. 5 so far. Well, let's keep going. We're learning a lot about Hearts of Iron, folks. Did you know that? I didn't know that could happen. Italy declared war on... What? What are they... What is happening? Why is there even a Somali Sultanate in the first place? What is happening? Well, now I'm waiting for the big one. Okay, you know what? I hope if Yugoslavia doesn't have a civil war by the time I have super heavy tanks in place, I'm going to be very disappointed. I will be incredibly disappointed. And I know I haven't been building any factories, but my plan is to put all 32 currently existing MIC on super heavy tanks. And, good job, Italy. And see how many I can make once the tech is researched till June. I guess Libya is now in revolt. Okay. Oh, it's the Zivno. Okay. I didn't realize that was the outcome because I've literally never seen that before. Okay, well, that's unintentional civil wars. We're now up to 7, I think. I mean, I can't blame the Libyans. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame them for revolting. I'm just sort of trying to count up all the revolts and civil wars that are happening. Oh, Turkey's probably going to have a civil war because they're not being able to take any of their decisions because the AI is turned off. Yeah, they're probably in a world of hurt. That's not going to be good for them. Oh, I've capped out on political power. That makes me sad. And I just want to point out that I'm not stealing any text. So what we're seeing right now is just raw Soviet research capability. I don't even have the 4th research slot yet. Here, we'll go ahead and grab that. We get we get a little closer to 41. I'll see if I can pick these up, but these are a pain to research. Well, oh yeah, the Raj has some ugly stuff if they're not doing what they're supposed to do as well. Japan's not attacking China, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Hey, there's actually a battle going on. How is this even happening? The AI is... No. AI, stop. You've made a horrible error. Okay, machine tools are done. Here, let's pick up machine tools. $332 days. All right. Not to integrate them ASAP. When you integrate Zivno, they're not eliminated. You just get their advisors. Is that correct, Citizen? You just get everything? Because I confess that I don't know squat about Bulgaria. I don't mean I historically don't know much about Bulgaria, but I also don't know much about playing Bulgaria in Hearts of Iron. Yep, less than a year on the super heavy tank. That's gonna be all the research I can do there. Here, we're gonna grab improved computing machine. Yeah, it is a 1930. It is a 1943 tech. That's not bad. I might need to report that to Paradox as well and be like, guys, we need to make a balance pass on research boosts or fiddle with it or something. That's also I realize I haven't explained this. When I put the 32 existing factories on super heavy tanks when they're completed and run the game till June, what I'll know is how many tanks I can produce with just 32 factories. And you might, as the Soviets, you would expect to easily have 30 to 60 factories on tanks in a normal game. So it's not like I would be putting 150 factories on it and coming up with a factory total. Okay, Citizen, that makes perfect sense then. All right. I did not know that was even a possibility. See, I only know Bulgaria for MRO. I don't know anything else about Bulgaria in the game. Oh, I don't need that because here's what we're going to do. Yeah, it's all taken care of, Wendy. Yeah, I just going to cheat in the XP. The only reason I'm running this at full speed is I want to see actually when I can get that in real terms, get this stuff done. But you know what? If it'll make you feel better, I'll appoint... ruined your evil MP... your evil MP ideas. Don't report it, huh? See, you say they're evil MP ideas, but I literally was participating in a discussion on the forum where people were arguing and complaining about whether Germany was OP or not in multiplayer. And then someone was complaining that the Soviets can avoid the purges too easily, and that makes the Soviets more powerful. I'm like, what are you talking about? The Red Army spirits suck. Oh, that sped things up a tiny, tiny bit. Here, we're going to grab the radio while we're thinking about it. All right, 24 days. Dun, 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 dun. 19. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's construction. And... okay, super heavy tank chassis is done, ladies and gentlemen and germs. Let's throw some cast armor on there. Oh, hold on. I want to make sure I don't do this the wrong way. Super heavy gun. Is that legal? Okay, that's a legal design. Now, this is not as awesome as it could place yet. So this is the IS-7. There we go. Now it looks like the stall. Should I put any modules on it? Yeah, let's put some modules on it. Let's go all out. I'm going to go all out. Yeah, someone will figure it out. I'm not even the brightest light. Okay. We got that done. Now, boom. Okay, we need tungsten. Oh, the Soviets need tungsten because we don't have a lot. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Production has started. Now, I want you to look at this. This is 32 factories. This is 32 factories are going to cost me 128 steel, 128 chromium, and 160 tungsten. Let's start building it. I'm going to even save right now in case something horrible happens. All right, we're running the clock. And... yeah. Can I... oh, you know what? Now I can research these. I can go ahead and grab these techs. I'm not sure these techs are going to matter that much. But... 2 a week. Yeah, we got to build up some... now, the one thing I haven't done here is I haven't done any of the 5-year plan focuses, and I don't have any of the production cap bonuses. So I don't, this is going to be kind of painful in terms of efficiency gain, but that's okay. That's okay. We will build super heavy tanks, and we will be awesome at that. That's, no. Here, we're going to go ahead and spawn in some text. If you've just joined the stream, we already found an exploit using super heavy tanks as a support company and then grabbing superior firepower. We also grabbed an exploit that I don't know if all of you saw, where super heavy tanks have no terrain modifiers for amphibious or river attacks, so they are the perfect pair with Marines. And that's not worth researching. We're not going to do that. That's so fast. Yeah, that. Okay. Wow, 3 whole steps. Is that even worth the increase? You know what? To hell with it. I don't know if it's worth the increase, but we're going to do it anyway. We're not going to lose that much production efficiency. That's a KV1. What am I doing? Okay. We're at December of 1940. Now, I'm not going to recycle any of the tanks or refit them. We're just going to keep producing them. But we found already another a set of exploits. And what I'm trying to do right now, if you're just coming to the stream, is that I want to see how many super heavy tanks the Soviets can make using their research bonuses. I got the super heavy tank into production in around September, and we're building up production efficiency. We're going to see how many support companies I can outfit before June of 41. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna get too many in production. This might not be feasible for the Soviet Union without retooling and doing like a more serious attempt with like running the 5-year plan focuses, getting the foreign experts, and doing the things that I do to abuse production efficiency cap and production efficiency gain. All right. Ooh, we're up to 50% production efficiency. Go Soviets, go! Come on, Soviet Union, you can do it. I also don't have as IC techs that are nearly as good as I would if I'd been doing the focuses. So this might not actually be the best test, but it's the fastest one I could make. May. Okay. That puts us at June of 41, and we have 190 super heavy tanks built. Most of them are the IS-7A variant. I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not exactly a rousing endorsement of trying it this way. I'd have to go back and fiddle with focuses and the right opposition with the advisor that gives production cap. Yeah, no, that's I need to go back and do a whole different industrial plan, because this was just off the cuff. I was just like, can I research it in a reasonable amount of time? Can I get it into production in a reasonable amount of time? That would be with 190 of them, though. That's basically 10 super heavy support companies. And that's not quite enough to really... Well, I don't know. What could you do with 10? You know what? 10 super heavy support companies, you could put those in key places. You could put divisions with super heavy support companies in Kiev. You could put them in Vitebsk. And you could put them next to Vitebsk and do the standard river line defense of the Soviet Union, and that might actually be helpful. That could hypothetically be useful, but you're tying up research slots. Like, that's a ton of effort to do that. The goal, if I was going to do this in a real game, I think, would be get a couple of these out by Barbarossa, and then keep those production lines going while defending against the Germans to try and get more and more of them in place. I'm not convinced, though, that that's the best use of the Soviet Union's time. I do want to remind everyone that the Soviet Union, while it has plenty of chromium, does not have a lot of tungsten. It is not a tungsten-rich nation, which, when we're talking about tank design, is important because the super heavy gun is a 5 tungsten gun. I could probably, in a real game, you're absolutely right, Citizen, I'd want to steal some text to sort of speed the process up. I'd also probably want to rethink how I would look at right, exactly. Yeah, not. I know what you mean. You don't mean steal armor text, because I don't need to do that. But I need to steal other text to sort of catch me up. Yeah, I need excavation for more resources, but none of that's gonna. Most of that's not gonna really solve my tungsten problem if I'm gonna put more than 30 factories on this, because that's just like it's 5 tungsten per factory. And just for comparison, just to compare that. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's 5 tungsten, just so we're all clear. That's 5 tungsten. A basic heavy cannon is 1 tungsten. And if I go in and let me do some cheated research real fast. Research on icon click. here. Okay. Yeah, build infra in the States. So if I went back here and I said, well, okay, I don't want the super heavy gun. Well, this costs only 2 tungsten. This costs only 1 tungsten. This costs 3 tungsten. This costs 2 tungsten. So even basically the super heavy gun is the most tungsten intensive thing on the planet. Yeah, you'd want to steal, yeah, probably Germany would be, I mean, I'm going to want to set up a spy ring in Germany anyway, so that would be the tech stealing to do. And of course, citizen, I'm going to steal that tech, but I'm going to be blitzing, when I get the purges done, I'm blitzing through 5-year plan and getting to foreign experts, and there are research bonuses for industry in those things. So the ideal thing would be to use one of those, to fire off one of those ahead of time researches right when I steal a tech from Germany for industry, and then I'd be good to go. Yeah, the British do start with that stuff. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't been making a whole lot of use of radar. I should probably use more radar than I do, but I have not been making good use of radar in a lot of games. For rather complicated reasons. Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah, Nico, that's the wrong video. If you guys don't know, he's referencing the video I posted yesterday where I built 38 different super heavy battleships as the Soviet Union to fill out Stalin's naval build plan. Okay. I want to check one other thing. Okay, I don't know why Yugoslavia is not having a civil war or Turkey's not having a civil war. That makes me very sad. That's the KV-1. I could make this cheaper, just for funsies. If I make this, if we go down to riveted armor, that takes the cost down to 74, which is, let me reset that. 74 divided by 118, that's only 62%. So if I made a super heavy tank that looked like this, the Soviet Union could build maybe 300 and some odd of those. That would be better numbers. So I could have also, I may have also kind of screwed myself on overdoing it here. Well, I know, Wendy, there's that whole no aircraft Soviet build. Then you don't even need radar. I have also screwed myself with radar before, where if you've got radar stations up, but your planes are inferior in number and doctrines to the enemy, there have been versions of Hearts of Iron where your higher detection just means your planes die faster to the enemy, rather than actually helping you. And I actually really messed myself up in one multiplayer game because I thought having extra detection would give me an advantage, but it just meant my planes got shot down by the Germans more often because they were engaging the Germans more often. That was a mistake. So I could, I don't know, maybe 400 super heavy tanks. That might be something to look into off stream later on. But, oh, you know what? I should check something else. I need to do something else. Yeah, that's exactly right, Nico. Your planes go to die against someone else. I should... Here, I'm an idiot. Let me make sure. Okay. When we go this path, we branch to the super heavy tank. Like that. If I had 300, The width changes. Okay. If you've just joined the stream, we were talking about the width changes before. But does anyone know right off the top of their head what the width changes are for urban tiles? I don't have... Ironically enough, I don't have Paradox's website up right now. But I was thinking if I had 450 super heavy tanks, I should be able to put a full stack of divisions in Vitebsk, next to Vitebsk, and Kiev. Because of the way the width changes are going to impact... Hold on. Let's go... Let's just... Here, I'm going to do something goofy. Here, I'm going to put a support AA there. No, reset. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Here, let's try that. We're going to duplicate you. And we're going to put a super heavy tank there. We're going to call this a guards division. Guards division. And I want to see... Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take these 6 divisions, put them in an army. We're going to move them here. And we're going to convert all of them to guards template. And we're going to add these guys to it, and we're going to convert them to guards. Okay. Okay. Now, do I actually have enough tanks? Hey, we're up to 1 a day. Okay. 10 divisions. We're going to tag to Poland. No. We're going to tag to Latvia. Well, you're right, Wendy, but I have a very specific idea. Okay, we're going to allow Diplo. I'll save. And we're going to declare war on the Soviet Union. I'm going to take this army. We're going to move there. Will you stop? Just stop. And we're going to go here. Okay, and we're going to go here. Okay. Now. Now, I know they can't win this battle, but I want to see what the width is. Okay, it's 86 combat width for an urban tile. Which means... Okay, that's 88 combat width. Okay. Stop. We're going to tag back to the Soviets for a second. Yeah, Wendy, you're right. The overcrowding a combat space will have a lower penalty, but let me explain what I'm talking about here, because I'm not expressing it well. I only have a finite number of super heavy tanks, but I want to see if I have enough super heavy tanks to cover 3 tiles. So if it's 80, this division has a width of 22. So 22, 44, 66, and 8. Okay, so 4 divisions. Put you there. We're going to put you here. We're going to send these guys somewhere else. Okay, but I need 2 more divisions. So congratulations, you 2 just got promoted to guards. You need to go back to Kiev now. Okay. Yes. Okay. If I'm right, let's tag back to Latvia. If I'm right. Okay, that's 82. That's 86. Okay, so in order to cover the 3 crucial tiles with super heavy tanks, Uh, the three crucial tiles being Vitebsk, the tile south of Vitebsk, and Kiev. I need a total of... Oh, that's Latvia. That's why that's not telling me what I need. Let's go back to the Soviets. I need a total of 240 super heavy tanks by June of 41, which I can do if I create a super heavy tank that doesn't use like all these gimmicks. If I just strip off the extra cannons, strip off the stupid expensive cast armor, I can do that. Yeah, you're right, Nikozilla. This is okay. I don't know if it's super efficient to do this, but I should be able to have, let's say, 15 to 16 divisions with super heavy tanks in a position to do defensive duty. And that's with 32 factories on the super heavy tanks. Okay, I think that gives me something to work with. That is an important piece of information. We saw that the research is possible. We see what the production is capable of doing. And this is not even an efficient research scheme. It's not even an efficient production scheme. So just file this in your heads for later on. Depending on if Paradox changes things, we might expect to see, at least in single player, super heavy Soviet strategies for Barbarossa on the historical date. That's gonna be maximum fun, or no fun. We don't know. Maybe it's gonna be terrible, but that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna see something like that unless something changes. Oh boy. Well. All right, folks. It's been a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad we all got to hang out. I'm going to go ahead and knock off the stream for the evening, though. I intend to go back to streaming on Monday evenings. I took a 2-week break because I had some relatives in town. I will keep everyone updated in the community tab. I know this isn't Twitch, but I actually think streaming on YouTube is better. Maybe I like the people here better. I don't know. But next week I'm thinking about doing looking at aircraft and seeing how I can abuse aircraft. I know the level 1 forts are super easy to build too. Could you imagine super heavies in those level 2 forts too? That's a whole other thing to think about. But I will report some of these exploits / bugs to Paradox. I'm sorry, guys. That's just the way it's going to have to be. But until next week, folks, I hope all of you are having a pleasant evening. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. And if OBS will actually work, I will see you then.